If I had one, if I had just one wish,
Okay.
one
We
wish.
can do
Okay,
it.
ready? And I'm gonna start singing.
All right.
If I had one wish,
One.
this is what it
We're like, wait,
would
what?
be.
All right, do it again. Give us
Okay,
give us our line
Okay.
again. We're terrible.
when I point at you, that's when you come in with.
All right.
Okay. If I had one wish, this is what it would be. I wish the whole world could live in peace and harmony. There'd be no more wars, there'd be no more hate. I'd make this world a better place. I'd make this world great if I had just one wish.
One
One
wish.
wish,
One
One
wish.
wish.
one wish.
One
One
wish.
wish.
If
We're
I had
terrible.
just one wish, one wish, one wish,
One wish.
one wish, one wish.
One wish.
If I had just one wish, there'd be no more sorrow, only tears of joy. I put a smile on the face of every woman, every man, girl, and boy. There'd be no more hunger, there'd be no more pain. Dark clouds would fade away, the sunshine would replace the rain. If I had just one wish, one wish, one wish,
One
one
wish.
wish, one wish.
One wish.
If I had just one wish, if I had one wish, this is where I begin. No one would be judged by the color of the skin. If I had just one wish, if I had just one wish, everybody. If I had just one wish. Okay.
Oh,
Wow.
That's
So
awesome.
we won't be in the
We're-
recording studio anytime soon, but that
Yeah,
was
please.
incredible. So
Yeah.
thank you.
This is Why, with your hosts, Heidi Hedquist and Luke Poling.
I guess as a place to start, how does somebody born in a coal mining town end up writing one of the most famous songs ever?
Well, I
Keep it short, please. Yeah.
it was destiny.
Yeah.
Can't get any shorter than that. I was born in the coal fields. I wanted a better life. I saw how hard my father was working, never having anything, and I started playing guitar. I found it very easy to learn to play guitar. I learned by ear, and it, once I learned one song, it just made me want to do it more and more and more. And then I started writing songs. And when I was 17 years old enough to leave home, I bought a one-way ticket from coal fields and went to New York, Rochester, New York, to pursue a career in music. And in I played with different bands up until 1964. I met some guys that had the same dreams and goals as I had. No one wanted to have a day job. We all wanted to earn our living by playing music. And so we called ourselves, we joined the band. I joined the band, and we called ourselves the Soul Brother Six. And 1967, we met a guy that wanted to manage us out of Philadelphia. His name was Walter Ray Field. He said we were a great band, and we went to Philadelphia. En route to Philadelphia was when I wrote the song "Some Kind of Wonderful" in the car, and it was because I was dating this girl in Rochester, and when I got ready to leave, she packed me a lunch, and I told her she was some kind of wonderful, and I said I'm gonna write a song about you, and
Wow.
so en route from between Rochester and Philadelphia. I think we were around Syracuse somewhere. I ate the sandwich, and then I started writing on the bag. I don't need a whole lot of money. And the reason for that first line was because all of us were broke. We had no money. I don't need a big fine car. The car we were riding in, you could look through the floor and see the highway. So that's why I said I didn't need a big fine car. I had everything I wanted because I was thinking about her, and she was some kind of wonderful.
And you writing it in the car, you didn't have any instrument with you, did you?
No, but I arranged everything in my head. And when I
Mhm.
arrived in Philadelphia, because I was the songwriter and the arranger for the group Soul Brother Six, and so when we arrived in Philadelphia, uh, I told them I had this song that I wanted to teach it to them, and I told them how the backup vocal should go, the chorus of it. And I told the bass, I said, I want you to play boom, 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 boom. And I told the drummer what to play. And then I started singing it, and I told him in the backup vocals should come in, some kind of wonderful. And that was it. And then there was a DJ. His name was Ernie Fields. He was a friend of the gentleman that was managing us, and he had called this DJ over to have a listen to this group that he brought in from Rochester. And the DJ heard the song "Some Kind of Wonderful." He said, "Whose song is that?" And I said, "It's mine. I just wrote it." He said, "That is a hit." And he said, "We got to record it." So they took us in the studio in Philadelphia, and we recorded "Some Kind of Wonderful," and they in turn took it to a program director at WHAT radio station, and the gentleman's name was George Wilson. George Wilson took the song to Atlantic Records, and they got us a record deal.
It's just
And
one of those magical stories you hear, and what was that? I mean, that feeling of just watching that trajectory. What was that like?
well, it's you can't put in words. I can't put in words because that was a dream finally coming full circle for me, coming out of the coal fields and doing odd jobs, working in car washes, working in restaurants, but holding on to that dream and the purpose that I came to New York for. And when it finally happened, it was like, wow, I finally made it. And I went from working in a restaurant to being on stage in front of you know screaming girls and living the dream that I always wanted to do and playing my music and earning a living how I wanted to do it.
When we've interviewed other musicians, some
Sure.
have said that, oh, we did this song, we had no idea it was a hit. We just thought it was a cool song.
All right.
Others, from the instant they started playing it, saying, oh, something clicked and I knew it was something special. It was different than other groups. Did you have that feeling with this? You had everyone else telling you it was a hit. What did your
No,
heart tell you?
I told them it was a hit.
Oh, well, there you go.
I knew I had this feeling, this inner feeling when I started playing the magic of that song, the drive and the some kind of wonderful. I knew it was a hit. What I didn't know and didn't even fathom was that it would be recorded over and over and over and over and over again by other artists. I just
Right.
figured it was going to be a hit for the Soul Brother Six, and which I knew that was going to be a hit.
Has there ever been a version in all the versions where you've gone, oh boy, really? What did you do to my song?
Um, I've heard a couple. I've heard a couple of versions uh, that I didn't particularly like, but overall, most of this, with the exception of one, I would say, well, two versions that was completely different from my arrangement. One was by Joss Stones. When she sang it totally different. Uh, and I think Pam Grier did a version which was uh, totally different. But all the other artists that recorded the song, they stayed right to to the bass line and the exactly how I wrote it.
Mm-hmm.
Which is a further credit to you in your songwriting,
Yeah,
because most people
sure.
get a hold of something and they want to just change it up because
Right,
they
right.
want to make it their own. But that it stayed so true is amazing. So then, fast forward from there, obviously you've had an incredible music career beyond that,
Right,
and have continued to do amazing things, including your recent song that you just recorded.
right.
Tell us a little bit about that really quickly. And
Well, okay. I wrote that song actually in 2003.
wow.
I wrote because of uh, how this country is and everything that's going on in it, and as you can see, if I wrote it in 2003, really nothing's changed except time.
Right.
And so
Yeah.
my reason for writing this song and putting it out is because to bring awareness to what's really going on in this country and give people a look at it at the real problem. And a lot of people, I've had other interviews and they say, "Oh, this is a Black Lives Matter song." It's not. It's not about Black Lives Matter. It's about this country and the direction that we should be going in. And uh, I just, if you listen to the lyrics of that song, they're spot on. Uh, because you talk me, I grew up in I never went to a restaurant until I left West Virginia. You know,
Wow.
I had to I wasn't allowed in restaurants. I had been turned away. I had been treated not like a person. And the only way that this country is going to move forward, and that's with love. You know, we have to start showing love towards each other. We have to recognize if we're doing something wrong to people, someone, we have to be able to look at this. You know what? That's not right. And I can tell you, like all the statues that's being taken down, that's not going to solve this problem.
Mm.
You know, if you look at, and I can tell you, and I don't want to dwell on this, but I just want to say that, for example, for instance, myself, I've never looked at a person as a color. I look at everyone either they're nice or they're not nice. Okay. Uh, when I met my wife in 1968. People said I was crazy to even have a conversation with her because she was white. Okay. For me, she was just, I met her. She was a beautiful person. And I've had people say, "Oh, you're crazy. Why do you want to marry this white woman?" Uh, both both races have said that to me. And here we are. This is 2020, 4 children and 15 grandkids later, and
Wow.
we are still happy because we don't see color, and that's how until this country, this world, start just looking at people as people. And the problem is, and I'll say this, and then we can go to something else. Is you can take down all the statues, you remove all the names, but until people start to look at each other and say, you know what, you're no different from me, this problem will remain, and that's the way it is. Because even today, 2020, I've been discriminated against. I've been wrongly treated because I have a business, and a lot of people, you know, once they will love my product, and once they find out it's from a person of color, they don't want to buy it. They don't want it.
Right.
They don't want to do business with me. I haven't done it. I can't change my color, you know,
Right.
no more than you
Change the
can change
product,
yours.
maybe. Yeah.
Change the product.
So you know, it's just it's sad that we have to live in this kind of this country, and until people recognize, you know what, we're all the same,
Yeah.
and everybody should have the same opportunities in this world. I mean, forget about the color. Color doesn't mean anything. And that's, as they say, that's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Well, before we move on quickly, I mean, you look at your life story and
Right.
your history.
Okay.
Your grandfather
Right.
was born into slavery, correct?
Exactly.
And then your
Well,
18-year-old nephew.
I'll go into it if you want to. Um, since I came into this world, um, I didn't realize, actually growing up, that this world was so full of racism and discrimination until I became a teenager. My first encounter
Mhm.
was when there was a radio contest, and I had learned to play the guitar. And I only knew how to play one song, which was a song by Chuck Berry called "School Days." So,
It's a good one to know if you got
Yeah.
to know one. Yeah.
so I entered this contest. I was the only black person in the room, and I knew I was great. You know, I practiced and practiced. Well, when the judges called me in and I started singing, they said, "Okay, what are you gonna sing?" I said, "I'm gonna sing the song about Chuck Berry's School Days." They said, "Okay, let's hear it." So I had my guitar. I said, "Up in the morning and out to school." Started playing the guitar. Within 10 seconds, the judge said, "That's it. We got a winner." This guy, he said, "This contest is over." And I was feeling great. I turned to walk out of the room. He said, "This contest is over." They forgot to turn off the intercom above the door. And as soon as the door closed, this one judge said to the other, he says, "What the hell you mean we got a winner?" And the guy said, "Well, this guy's great." And all the white contestants that were sitting there, they heard this. He said, "I don't. What do you mean we got a winner?" And the guy said, "Well, he's great. No one's going to be better than this." He says, "I don't care how good he is. He's a goddamn nigger." And he's saying, "There is no way in hell we're going to let a nigger win this contest." Can you imagine how I felt
Yeah.
to hear that? I hadn't done anything except walked in there and played my guitar. 16 years old. I knew I was great, and it was like someone put a knife through me. And, you know, I couldn't believe it. If I had lost because I cheated, I could accept that. If
Right.
I
Right.
wasn't good enough, I could accept it.
Of
But
course.
I lost because of something I couldn't change, which was the color of my skin. I couldn't change that. But that's why I
Right.
lost. But what it did for me, it made me angry. And I said, you know, tears came into my eyes. And I said, "That's okay. You think you stopped me? You can't stop me." And that's been my way of thinking. No one can stop. You may push me down, but I'm going to get up, you know, and I'm not going to hate you. I'm just going to prove to you that you can't hold me back.
And how is it after a lifetime of this sort of seeing this hatred firsthand, seeing this bigotry, seeing all
Well,
this stuff happen? How do you not write a song called Some Kind of BS?
well, you know what? That song. That's why I called my friend. I'm working with a gentleman in Amsterdam, and
Hmm.
we always say that God brought us together. When this happened with George Floyd, and that's when I pulled out the song and I said, "Roger, you got to hear this song." I said, "We need to put this out."
This is a wake-up call, America. This is a wake-up call. This is a wake-up call, America. This is a wake-up call. To understand the black man's fight, you must first take a look at the black man's plight. To understand our state of mind, turn the pages of history, and there you'll find that this land of the free and home of the brave is where you brought us and made us your slave, and freedom was a dream that we took to our grave. This is a wake-up call, America.
Wake Up Call, Black Like Me, is available on iTunes, Spotify, Amazon Music, all the other places you find digital music. And for more information on John and his entire body of work, which is unbelievable, check out JohnEllisonMusic.com.
Set free. This is a wake-up call, America. This is a wake-up call. We salute your flag, but for us it's a